Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. In this video we're going to talk about the myth of property.
In Australia.
In Australia, yeah. So some people, when they buy investment property or when they buy properties, they have this, I guess this idea of property will double within 7 to 10 years. I'm sure if you're a property investor out there, you heard that before. For our experience, only if you can hold it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, only if it breaks even.
Well, the thing is, it's hard to tell now because either you want cash flow or capital gain.
But you're gonna get the capital gain, you're gonna get taxed.
If you get capital gain, you may have double, maybe. I think 7 years may be too short, 10 years, let's say. You can get capital gain, but you're negatively geared badly.
So negatively geared, I mean you have to fork out money every week.
Correct.
So,
can you afford it?
circumstances change in people's life. So the reason why I'm mentioning about this was yesterday I had a meeting with a client. The situation was like this. The situation was this particular client purchased one property and then take out an equity and purchase another property. Okay, so from those two, went from one job that was paying a certain dollar figure, gone from here goes to a higher level. So he got a pay raise, and then because he got a pay rise, able to borrow more money.
And he's in his new job within 1 year.
Yeah, so able to borrow more money. Sick and tired of commuting for an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. So I decided to buy another property.
Close to work.
Close to work.
Off the plan.
Sort of not off the plan. More like it was the last
Built.
stock, the last stock from the builder. And then from there, circumstances change. Got made redundant. When you got made redundant, that means no more income. So, and sitting down with me, it was we use a certain strategy so we can get a cash flow from our property now, not tomorrow. That's what I do. I change around people's property circumstances. Instead of a negatively gearing, turn that into positively gearing.
Oh, neutral.
Minimum neutral. Minimum, so that way it doesn't.
It depends on how much the debt they have.
Correct. And yeah, it's kind of funny because about a year ago, actually, about a year plus ago, I told him, your property is negatively gearing. Your property is costing you this amount of money. Wouldn't you prefer to change that into a positively gearing? Didn't really want to do it.
Yeah, and then he got a new job. And that time he contacted you, he wanted to sell that property.
Correct.
He wanted to sell it, but eventually he didn't sell it. He got a new job, he got promotion, got higher pay.
Got higher
Hooray!
pay.
Get another loan.
So,
got more debt.
And now, because he got redundant, I asked him how much surplus fund have you got? You've got about 3 months.
Yeah.
So the myth is, yes, property probably can double within that, 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is, the marketing campaigns mention, maybe the data will actually stay in there. But reality check on it is you need to hold that property. You need to hold it for those period of time. You need to service those loans. You need to pay off the mortgage, pay off the strata if it's a unit, water, council, make sure there's a tenant. If there's no tenant, what are you gonna do? You have to pay for it.
What if you don't have a job and you don't have a tenant?
Correct. So,
how long can you last it for? What if no job, no tenant? I don't.
And how much money have you physically got in your bank? Like, every day you have to fork out a certain dollar figure. So Yeah, it possibly is true, but I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the property will be doubling every 7 to 10 years. It's because, yes, it's probably going to be doubling, but because of all of this headache of all of the expenses, like paying, if it's an interest only loan, for example, for the first 5 years, you're not even paying any of the principal. So that 5 years, how much is that?
And they
Be
will be
worth.
selling it. And maybe they try to sell, and when the market is going down, and they have to sell at a lower price.
Correct,
And
which is where we're at the moment because of this virus. Everyone's sort of panicking. No one's buying. A lot of people selling. So, chop. Today alone, we saw a property that was last week. It was advertised about $20,000.
10,000 more.
$10,000
Just last
more?
week.
Just like so. That was today, wasn't it? They checked it.
Yeah, I checked today.
So we checked the same property today. It was already being discounted.
10K.
So, because not a lot of people can buy it, don't want to buy it actually, because of whatever reason it is. So yeah, like it's all relatively, like it doesn't really make any sense if you're looking at it. It will be double in value in 7 to 10 years. It only works.
It is the dream that we got given or sold to us.
Correct.
Yeah, I know you don't believe it, but I believe it. But you need to have a really deep pocket. One, and second, you at least have to pay 20% deposit.
No, more than 20.
Right?
More. I don't believe in like 20% alone is going. If you're lucky, 20% will cover break even, but you still have expenses. Like if you're like minimum, let's say it's about 30 to 35% minimum. I mean, look at the other.
I don't know, because it depends on if it's a house, normally capital gain go faster, but if it's a unit, no way it will double for
17
no, 17 no.
So, but yeah, that's our.
But he's the one brought you. He's the one, because last year he told you, no, I'm not going to sell this. I'll wait because I believe in 7 years it's going to be doubled. And does he still believe in it?
I don't think he does.
Oh. How long has he been holding for that property?
I don't know, about 5 or
Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's just that the fact that when you're investing on a property, you gotta again look at it in the long term. Don't look at it in short term. But at the same time, you gotta make sure that if you are negatively gearing, you gotta make sure you're really cash heavy. Like you really have a lot of money in the bank with a minimum 3 months as 3 months mortgage repayment. I say it's 1 year.
Yeah, okay.
You need to have one. If you are negatively gearing by, let's say $100 a week or something, you need to have at least 1 year ready.
What's that? 100.
No, more like.
50. What if it's empty?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's got to be like
I'll say
in the condition of there's no tenant. You need to have your mortgage paid off for a year, because there's bound to be a lot of things that happen as well. Circumstances change, like I mentioned. What if you don't have a tenant and the tenant ended up damage it?
Insurance not paying. Been there.
What else is there? While you're overseas.
Yeah, been there.
While you're overseas and the property manager decided not to contact you.
Because you're
and there's
overseas.
no tenant, and because you didn't return their call, like how are you supposed to call me? I'm overseas. Why don't you send me an email? But that's another story. So pretty much be prepared of, like, if you are buying a property, have at least 12 months as a buffer.
Wow.
As a 12 months minimum. Or make sure that you have some sort of cash ready for that 12 months. Because it can get really stressful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what would you do if you lose your job tomorrow and you have all of this negatively gearing property, or property that is not giving you any money? In fact, it's costing you money.
You have to sell quick, urgent sell, and sell it below market price, right?
And some people sell it at a loss.
Yeah, they have. Then they have to pay the bank back, right?
So imagine this, as an example. Let's say you buy a property that is at $500,000. Okay, you're holding it for about 5 years, and then you've been paying interest only. Let's say you've been paying $1,000 a month or something. Yeah, interest only. So you borrowed 500 grand, you're paying $1,000 a month to continue for that 5 years. So at the end of that 5 years,
You still owe the bank for 500k.
At the end of what I mean is after that 5 years, you
Yeah.
want to sell the property,
Yeah,
but
for
now
market.
it's valued at 450.
Yeah.
Not only that you've lost money of $1,000 per month, now you gotta close shop and
Minus 100k.
minus 50 or 100k on top. So that doesn't make sense to me. I would rather be the other way around. I don't believe in the myth. I don't believe in the myth of doubling every 7 to 10 years. I like to have passive cash flow. Property should be the other way around. If you create a certain system, it can give you, I guess, like
Cash flow.
cash flow.
Cash is the king.
Cash is king because
Yeah.
cash is the power to do other things.
Yeah.
Cash flow
It's
in
the
today.
opportunity cost.
Yeah. I mean, you can hold.
understand?
Yeah, no, I don't understand that from before, but now I do. Like,
Yeah.
you look at it. Do you really want to do stuff now, or do you want to do stuff later on?
I won't say it like that. I would say you'll prefer to have a guarantee money,
Yeah.
cash income for you is certain. Then you use the money
Just like
to
a
do
job, right?
something, and then you use the money to invest or to do bigger
The
things.
opportunity for you to go other things
Yes,
with that money.
yes, you
to
can go
invest in
further.
something else.
Because if you're holding negatively geared property, you just
You're
keep
tied up.
taking out your money, and your living standard will go much lower. You have to work so hard for that property.
Yeah. So
And I believe there are a lot of people like that. We were like that.
we were like that. It's about we have to change our mindset
Yeah.
in order for us to change that.
I think you just have to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Right? You did good.
So, and another key point was don't get emotionally invested on the property.
Yeah, I wish.
Look at the numbers. That's what matters.
Nah. Nah. Female. Sorry, ladies, if you're not, but I am.
So it's true. There's the female is a lot more emotionally invested.
Well, I don't know, because when you buy something, you went there, inspected, and it's your all hard work, saving money. You pay for it. You went to the bank. You grabbed the check. I still remember it. And then you pay stamp duty, and then each quarter you pay council and strata. Like, it become a habit.
Become a habit.
Yeah.
It's like spending.
But now, yes, can't wait that to be gone. It's
So-
like a burden.
Having negatively gearing is like having a child with no reward.
Is that what we're having too? Like,
It costing us
Exactly.
money. Like negatively
Exactly.
gearing feels like, oh, okay, I can't go out to the pub. Why? Oh, because I gotta save that pub money to go to pay this mortgage. So that's what negatively gearing is. No. I can't go out today. I can't go hang out, go to the beach because I need to save this money to pay this mortgage. I would rather be the other way around. How about if the property is like, oh, thank you, give me $100. So I'm gonna go out and go to the beach or go to the pub with this money. Next week, the same thing. Oh, here we go. Here's another $100.
yeah, life
So-
would be simpler.
I'd rather have passive income, money coming in, instead of me throwing in. There's only so much time that I can throw this money out there.
Yeah.
So, talk to you guys in the next video.
See ya.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.